According to my dad's stupid-ass friend Lonnie, Super Mario Odyssey was one of the greatest games of 2017, which is a statement that many people, including myself, would wholeheartedly agree with, seeing as how it was able to become 2017's best-selling Switch game, even though it didn't come out till the end of October. And normally when a video game, or pretty much anything at all, gets that popular, a sequel's sure to follow, right? Well, normally yes, but in 2018, it might be more likely to just get some new stages added via DLC instead, which doesn't exactly discount a sequel, but either way, major DLC for Super Mario Odyssey would be a waste if you ask me. My name's Cameron of the FUgameCrue, and I'll tell you why. Before people pee in the comments section, I'm well aware that Super Mario Odyssey already has DLC, what with the new costumes, snapshot filters, Balloon World minigame, and what have you. But that was free, simple, and polished an already great game just an ass hair more. The perfect kind of DLC for a game such as thus. However, when Super Mario Odyssey producer Yoshiaki Koizumi hinted at a major DLC update for the future, my main worries in life shifted from my father who's been missing for 2 weeks to the potential of new kingdoms being added to Super Mario Odyssey. Don't get me wrong though, even though it worries me, I'm sure it'd be a heck of a mess of fun and I'd certainly buy it. Also, I think DLC for anything else is great, just as long as it's made after a game's been out for a while as a bonus as opposed to being withheld content. However, for this particular game, I think major DLC would be wasted potential. I love all the new goodies they added to Breath of the Wild, but making a sequel for that game would take way longer than making one for Mario Odyssey. More importantly than that though, the sequels to most franchises improve on one foundation over time, whereas 3D Mario games are constantly rebooted. I mean, if you think about it, we've only gotten 2 sequels to 3D Mario games so far. The Reach the End of the Goal-styled Super Mario 3D World greatly improved upon 3D Land, and Super Mario Galaxy 2 exceeded expectations to what we thought was already a perfect game to begin with, which ended up being what I think's the best game in the series, and also one of the best games of all time. But imagine living in an alternate universe where hamburgers eat people, I have a competent-sized PP, and Mario Galaxy got a fourth of what Mario Galaxy 2 ended up being as DLC, instead of getting a true sequel on a disc, which I'm sure the poor souls in that universe enjoyed. But you can't look me in the ass and tell me that isn't wasted potential when you know Mario Galaxy 2 exists. And I don't want this dimension to be one of those crazy universes that doesn't have Super Mario Odyssey 2. I've already seen a universe like that. You see, the other day I was playing Find the Hot Dog with my neighbor Terry, and I managed to crawl into his interdimensional travel machine, and then I was zipped away to another dimension where Mario Odyssey only got 2 extra kingdoms as DLC with no sequel at all. This caused the Nintendo of that universe to go out of business immediately, with Reggie-san burning Nintendo HQ down for the insurance money. But then it got even worse because he forgot to leave the building before setting it on fire, and I tried saving him with mouth-to-butt resuscitation, but it was too little too late. Rest in peace, alternate universe Reggie-san. We hardly knew ye. And the fact that that dimension was such a hellhole with no Super Mario Odyssey 2 is why I'm making this video right now. I want to implore Nintendo, who I know watches this channel religiously, to give us a full-fledged sequel to Super Mario Odyssey. That way we can buy it on a cartridge and own it forever. Even though Mario Odyssey DLC would almost certainly get a physical release down the line with some kind of definitive edition, you wouldn't want to burn the people who bought it at launch by releasing a superior version in the future. Although, to be fair, early buyers do get to play the game before everybody else does, and if DLC's already been made for a game, then it does make sense to just include it in future printings, especially if they're ports to new consoles altogether. It happens all the time with Game of the Year editions and all that to try to breathe new life into old games. I mean, Game of the Year or Deluxe editions just feel so jam-packed and definitive, and it's not like you could sell DLC to the people who don't even have the game anyway, so why not try to entice as many new people to buy an older game by including everything once it's old news? It always works on me anyway. But again, I'm not against DLC being added to games. It's just that I specifically dislike it for a 3D Mario game. But if Nintendo wants to give us an assload of DLC to where it's pretty much half a new game, then they might as well just give us a sequel. But if Nintendo only wants to give us another kingdom or 2, then their attitude might be that the DLC's enough and then it's time to move on and make another Mario game, which is always fun when they reboot the 3D Mario Foundation. But it also sucks eggs, because there's still so much potential left with Cappy and his transformations. We still haven't gotten a true sequel to Super Mario 64, which I know it technically has had many sequels, but there's always a twist added to the foundation that Mario 64 laid out in '96 to where it's pretty much a reboot, whereas most game franchises just keep adding more to the foundation with every release, like 3D Zelda was doing till Breath of the Wild tossed a monkey wrench into things. But the next 3D Zelda game's gonna add more to Breath of the Wild rather than reboot it all over again. Whereas if this was the Mario franchise, the next game would probably try something completely different, which is why I'm fine with major DLC adding plenty of new content to Batwa. It's not really adding new ideas, it's just expanding what we already have. It's not like there's really any new gameplay mechanics or items being added other than Link's 10 speed, which is more along the lines of the Swift Sail than truly adding to the gameplay. It just rewards you with extra convenience, which is great for DLC, and would work for Mario Odyssey, but you can't really add much to Mario Odyssey without new power-ups, and that needs to be saved for a sequel. but adding a new kingdom to Super Mario Odyssey would absolutely need new Cappy transformations. Remixing current areas in Mario Odyssey with existing transformations would be a great way to add DLC, but if Nintendo's gonna add any new transformations at all, then I'd rather them just save it for a sequel. Because if we don't get Mario Odyssey 2 now, then we probably never will, which would be a real shame because, again, there's still so much left to do with this particular 3D Mario concept. I doubt we're ever getting a sequel to the simplified gameplay of Mario 64, nor will we ever see more potential be utilized for Flood in a new Super Mario Sunshine. The ships for sequels to those games are probably sailed, so I hope the above-average sized end pulls the trigger on Mario Odyssey 2 while they still can, seeing as how people like fun and Nintendo's fond of money. And if we get major DLC, I think that'll be less likely to happen. A full sequel to Super Mario Odyssey would be definitively immortalized forever as an official entry to the Super Mario series, as opposed to DLC, which is usually referred to similarly in the way deleted scenes in movies are like it doesn't even count. Like, oh, you can't possess Cameron's car in Super Mario Odyssey? I mean, you can in the DLC, but not in the real game. It's the same thing as those bonus levels in Super Mario Advance that nobody could ever play again. And Mario Odyssey deserves better, damn it. And I'm not against Nintendo abandoning Mario concepts to come up with new ones. Reinventing 3D Mario games as often as they do keeps the series from getting stale, which I appreciate more than Nintendo running something everybody loves into the ground. After all, it's better to leave people wanting more than to give them too much. But I can't stress enough that there's still so much left to be done with Cappy to the point where it feels obvious. Not that Mario Odyssey was underwhelming or anything, but when you look at how much Mario Galaxy 2 improved upon a game that seemed perfect to begin with, it makes you wonder how far Super Mario Odyssey 2 could take things. Even if it's not as much as Mario Galaxy 2, I'm sure it'd still be amazing. And whether Nintendo's thinking about adding one new kingdom or 7 as DLC, I think they should just save it for a sequel. What do you think, though? Are you okay with new kingdoms being sold as Mario Odyssey DLC? Or do you agree that Nintendo should give us more simplistic DLC in the short term and save the hot sauce for a sequel? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I'll pin whatever I find most entertaining. Don't forget to like and share this video if you want to help this channel grow. Consider supporting us on Patreon. And if you're a legendary sexy badass from the alternate dimension of Glazar, then go ahead and press the subscribe button if you haven't already. My name's Cameron, and I'll see you next time.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty, thank you for your support.